Welcome to episode number 85 of The Great Reset. My name is Robert Brill, and I'm the CEO of Brill Media.co. We are an advertising firm that drives sales and leads with the tools and capabilities that are traditionally reserved for the largest brands in the world. We are here 5 days a week talking about marketing and advertising for senior marketing executives, entrepreneurs, and everyone who's looking for a leg up to grow their company. Today we're rounding out the video series around dynamic creative logic, and let's jump right into it. So the first example that we're going to talk about is optimizing ads to the ones that drive the best results. And when we talk about results, every campaign is different. We might be looking at click-through rate, cost per click, cost per lead, number of leads generated. There's a lot of ways to look at that: return on ad spend, return on investment. The logic on this setup is actually quite simple. It's about letting different creative run and giving the algorithm the flexibility to put more emphasis on creative that will perform the best. Now, there's a component of this that exists across demand-side platforms, right? In platforms like The Trade Desk and Media Math, there is a little bit of algorithmic decisioning that happens. The difference here is that with dynamic creative, you're not doing decisioning on 5, 10, or 20 different creative executions. You're doing decisioning on hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of different creative executions, right? If you have a number of different calls to action, a number of different images, a number of different background, a number of different copy points, you could actually have thousands or tens of thousands of different creative executions. And so it would be difficult for any one team, even the largest team, to output so many different variations. It just takes a lot of work. But by using different templates, you really get the ability to run tens of thousands of different creative executions and let the data decide. If we get more click-through on one with the blue background, then there's some relevancy there to the blue background. Or if you have a better click-through rate with a model that's a woman relative to a model that's a man, that's an insight for you. So this logic is good if you aren't sure which creative messages will resonate with your consumers and you want to test. Number 2, we can turn on live video feeds inside ads. This takes a little bit of technical implementation. The setup is custom, but it has some really good implications and opportunities. If you want people to watch your live online concert or a TV channel or a premiere on television or connected TV, you can actually pipe in the live feed for this video. The user will see a video ad, so let's say a 300 by 250 or a pre-roll ad, and the messaging in the ad will be live, and you'll see that the content is live. You're catching a concert in the middle of a concert. You know that the stream in the ad is live, and the user can watch the whole thing immediately. There are even some executions where you can watch the live concert just straight from the ad as long as you don't refresh the page. But for a better experience, the ad will encourage the user to click over to the page or the app where you can watch the whole thing right now. And for network television, on the other hand, a variation of this setup is to show the first 1 or 2 minutes of an episode to capture the user's attention. The dynamic part of this setup then will be to change the content that's delivered on a weekly basis. So again, you're working within a frame. The outside of the frame remains the same, and inside, in a certain part of the ad, you are going to pipe in a video feed. And the copy within the ad, the advertiser can reference the latest episode. So the user gets a message that is current. The idea here is keeping things current and up to the minute. And the third example that we'll feature on this video, the third type of logic that we can deploy, is showing a product feed defining how many units of the product are available to buy. So this is a way of amplifying FOMO, fear of missing out. This is fantastic for online retailers that want to create urgency, especially if there are low levels of inventory left, or if you want to manufacture the idea that there are low levels of inventory left. You can create an ad that shows the actual amount of product left based on your inventory records, or in a variation of this setup, show a countdown clock with an expiring offer. The dynamic part of the countdown clock is being able to tell the consumer that the offer expires at 6 p.m. Pacific time if the user is in LA, or showing an expiration time of 9 p.m. Eastern time if the user is in New York, and accounting for all the different time zones. So the core idea here is you really want to hone in on a consumer's interest, mindset, fear of missing out, and giving them something that amplifies that feeling. Number 4, use proven ad framework for international campaigns. There is a language extension opportunity with dynamic creative. If you have the framework, images, copy and fonts, all of this is proven. You've done the dynamic creative, right? You know of 10,000 iterations, you know that the 100 that are doing really well. You can take the same ads and turn them into language appropriate ads for French Canada, for example. So let's say you're advertising the US and Canada and you want ads that are actually in French for French Canada. You can detect the language set on the user's browser. So the folks in French Canada are going to have a browser set to French. And any ad that appears to that person in French Canada, even though the ad is programmed in English, it will be changed to French to reflect that the user is in fact interested in seeing content in French. And you can do that in the US too. Any user in the US who has Spanish as the browser setting can then go ahead and see the same ad with the same language optimized to the Spanish version of the ad. So you can see if there's a need to have any form of sophistication on your ads, how they're delivered with robust customization capabilities, dynamic creative gives advertisers the tools to make all of this happen. Your imagination is the limit for how dynamic creative can be deployed. So we'll see you on tomorrow's episode of The Great Reset, where we'll continue our discussion about dynamic creative. Talk to you soon.